So, Kate, you're going to talk to us about winning with buyers in today's market, right?
Yep,
Cool. So,
absolutely.
just for a point of reference, Kate's in Tampa, Florida. She's on the Tony Baroni team. And Kate, how many buyers have you put under contract so far this year?
We're currently at 83, closed and pending.
So 83 contracts closed and pended so far in 2022. So
Yep.
I just want everyone to know who you're talking to here, because I think that's absolutely amazing. So Kate, you want me to go ahead and share your slide here?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sweet. There you go.
Perfect. So guys, coming off the weekend, I thought it was fitting, instead of BYOB, we are talking about BYOE, bring your own energy. So walking through this a little bit, what I'm going to talk through is just 5 different strategies that we're focusing on to win buyers. Obviously, doing this at a high level, and hopefully want to bring you guys some nuggets as well. So talking through B, balance. So you really need to walk into it with the heart to serve. So taking the time to really talk through their needs, their motivation. And by that, a lot of what I see is this piece being missed. If we're not really focusing on their motivation, then we're not rolling into their expectations. So talking through their expectations, a lot of what we're seeing, and even in Florida, obviously we have a lot of relocations and people coming here. And what they don't necessarily understand is how to, what is sight unseen, or what does it look like if we're doing virtual showings? How can they sell their home and make the move where it makes sense transitionally? So just taking the time to really slow down and walk through that with them really makes the process a lot easier. And the last piece of that is standing out. So like Jordan mentioned, last year we had over 155 buyers under contract, and I didn't meet any of them. I actually showed 5 properties all last year. So really standing out in this market, it's all in that consultation. It's in that initial conversation, and then building it off of there.
Hey, Kate, quick question on that. Are most of the people that you're meeting with, are you doing that on a phone call, over Zoom, face to face? How are you doing the initial meeting?
So we do a lot of consultations over the phone. We are doing a lot more through Zoom. We're really here to match wherever they are. So whatever they're requesting, a lot of them do just want more phone consultations, but I do see a lot of success from going over Zoom. You just, again, you have that face-to-face rapport that you're building, which really helps secure things as well and put a face to it. Amy and Heidi, my showing specialists, we always kid, like the closing photo, I'm always like, that's what they look like? What, we have no idea. So it's cool on that piece too. But even over the phone, again, because we do so many consultations over the phone, it's crazy that you can build that kind of rapport with somebody as well.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure everyone heard the mic drop moment that she put 155 homes under contract in 2021 and showed 5 houses. So let that sink in. Amazing. All right, keep going, Kate.
Cool. So the why. So yesterday, I'm huge on this. So again, just talking through the market and what that looks like. I'm a huge storyteller, so I love to just paint examples by saying, I had this client, this is the situation that they were in, this is how we won it. And just talking through positivity within this market through storytelling. So again, we're the market experts. A lot of building rapport through these consultations is also the trust that, 1, you know what you're talking about. 2, in terms of market conditions, what does that look like? So we recently, what we started doing as well is we have a spreadsheet, and we're tracking not only offers that we're writing, how many we're writing per client, and then in terms of what they're going under, we don't necessarily know what they go under contract for, but what they're selling for, what that looks like, so that we can bring that data back to the clients and say, in this area, this is what we're seeing. Or on average, we're writing contracts 5,000-10,000 over with an escalation. they're selling for this, whatever it may look like, just to again be that market expert. Two, I think a lot of people miss just the cost of waiting. So many people right now, I mean, again, worried about interest rates, worried about pricing. Is the market going to crash? If I had $1 for every one of these conversations, and again, knowing your data to talk that up with them and make them feel comfortable. Because again, the cost of waiting just from January 2021 to January 2022 was over $100,000 here. That's significant. So again, just making sure that they know cost of waiting isn't necessarily the best. And then just knowing how I evaluate a lot of how I'm winning is just when I go to write the offer, if my clients are okay with the terms and how they're discussing what that offer looks like, that to me is a measure of how I've had the conversation with them. If they understand how they need to write strong terms, then they understand the market, then they understand what's necessary to win. I mean, to be transparent, I mean, I don't have time to write 30 bad offers. I want to go in, and if they want the property, I want to make sure that they're winning it too.
Yeah, and one thing about the market, you guys, one thing about, or I'm sorry, in 2021 and 2022, she's put all these homes under contract. There's also been a fair amount that she's written and haven't gotten, right? And if you go look at Kate's Facebook profile, you never see her complain about the market. And there's some people out there, and I don't understand why agents do this, but they go on to Facebook and use it as a forum to complain about how tough the market is. If you're doing that, stop. Don't do that. Talk about the wins. Talk about what, as she said, winning and positivity. Make sure that your social media presence and your conversations are reflecting that.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing too, I mean, Jordan, it was, the last couple of weeks, it was something like 16 contracts, that we have under contract, which is pretty significant. But a lot of that was opportunity, because while everyone was crying about interest rates and this market and everything doing whatever, I went to all my clients like, hey, this is a perfect advantage. We were going 5 to 10,000 over and executing all of them. I mean, it was the best 2 weeks of my life. I'm like, let's keep it going. Let's go. So, I mean, again, it's just knowing the market conditions and taking advantage of it in that moment. So again, kind of going off of that in terms of opportunity. So right now there's Homeward, there's, we have a private YouTube channel where we're sending these links to clients, like here's a virtual walkthrough. This is why you have the comfort of moving forward with an offer, knowing that we've walked through and we've detailed everything out. I have different people through the offer process following up. So Amy and Heidi, my amazing showing specialists, they're checking in with the listing agent. I'm checking in with them. I have my lender copied in. I'll have my transaction manager say, hey, you're going to love working with these. So it's a team effort, and you have enough people reaching out where the listing agents are almost bombarded by us, but they're like, wow, they're on it. Again, they care. They want their client to have this home as well. And going off of that, 2 other things. So vending machine. So again, I know Jordan, you talk about this all the time, but your vending machine. So what outside of the MLS are you looking at? Are you looking at for sale by owner? Are you going on Zillow? Are you looking at rental listings, for sale by owner listings? Are you, the homes that you didn't get, you better believe I am following up with all of those listing agents every single day until I know that home closes, because you just never know that a lot of them will fall through. And again, a lot of those I've executed have been by that follow-up. And then focusing on your top 5. So what we do is every Monday, we have a top 5 list that we're going through. And those are where we're focusing our energy, because there's always 5 top people in your week, and where you're focusing on expands. So why not focus on the people that you're going to close that week? And my Amy and Heidi both send their list to me. I have a list, and every single week we're focusing on those people to get us through the week as well.
So one quick thing on that, you guys, the analogy that Kate and I have used is, if those 5 people were going to prepay you the buyer commission, so they come to you and they say, hey, Kate, I really, really want to go under contract on a house. So here is your commission up front. And I want to be under contract on a house in the next 7 days. If you don't get me under contract, then I want a refund. So the question becomes, if they had prepaid you, what is it that you would do that you're not doing now? Or where would you start acting with much more urgency to find these people a home? Right, Kate?
Exactly. Brings a whole new perspective, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then BYOE, I love this because I'm huge on energy. So bring your own energy. What are you doing? What gives you energy? What are you doing through the transaction? Because trust me, my days are long. I get up early, I go to bed late. I have a lot of conversations through the day. When you have this many people under contract, it can get draining. But again, it's taking a moment to remember why we're in this business, things that will continue to give you energy. My favorite that I've now coined with Jordan is be like Brittany. So she's amazing and she'll always be the first to be like, girl, go get your hair done, go get this. I mean, I would go before like 9 months and it was probably not pretty, but I'm now focusing on that every single week. We're getting better. And then also, what are you going to give up to move up? So just doing a habit audit. I mean, I think it's huge. I think so often we get burned by, we're just in the go, 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 go. And it's taking a second just to say, what habits am I doing throughout the day that I can truly do an audit on? And then how are we really focusing on those top things and what really doesn't matter? Because too often I'm doing that all the time too, where I felt like I was busy, but then it's also just a moment of, focus on what matters, what are you crushing, and then just leverage everything else. And then lastly, Jordan, you have anything with that?
I think that there's a great coaching question that you just said. And that is, what is it that I'm doing that doesn't really matter that much? There's this hallucinated importance that people have in transactions. There's 2 hallucinations. Hallucinated importance, meaning I'm the one that has to do it and I have to do it this way. And then there's hallucinated urgency. Hallucinated urgency is everything has to be done right now. And so I think that question of what is it that I'm doing that really just doesn't matter is a great question for all of us to be kind of auditing our habits and behavior. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that kind of rolls into the last piece here. So the 2 is just, for me, it's leverage. So again, I started out as a buyer specialist. I know the world of doing all these tasks and slowly just building a business. So it's a team within a team. And that's exactly how I describe it on every consultation. So I have a team within a team and I'm forever thankful for every little piece within that team. But it also came from knowing what my strengths are. If, again, showing homes, I know that there's someone that will do it much better than me. In terms of negotiation, hands down, my favorite piece of all of that. So it's just, talking through and making sure you know what your piece is and then explaining what your team's piece is within that. And then you're, having the buy-in with these buyers because they really, some of these people are like, how do you know? You've never even seen the house. How are you going to negotiate it? Well, let me show you, this is how, and then we'll walk through all of that. And then again, just standing out. I mean, again, I think you can go do me a favor and just go online, read your reviews. I think that's really telling. So what clients are saying about you, that in my opinion, there's no one else that's going to tell it better than them. So a lot of how I'm evaluating things is going back to say, what was a positive, what can I work on from even our reviews? And success happens when someone has something to prove. So I talk to Jordan about this all the time. What am I proving? What am I trying to get out of this? What is my goal? And a lot of why I show up the way I do is because I have something big to prove. And I hope, I live that through my clients as well. I mean, it's a journey. I'm not going to say it's easy by any means, but again, it's having those audits, meeting with our team to say what's working, what's not working. And then it's in that moment. You can't evaluate your business a year later. Everything's week by week for us. So just taking the time to slow down with your team to do those little audits, that way you're only moving forward from there.